So for today, for our Google Search Console webinar, I want to cover what is Search Console, kind of take it from the beginning, let you know like what it is, why it's important, why do we use Google Search Console. And then we'll do a walkthrough where I'll actually show you Search Console. It's a lot easier to doing a walkthrough, letting you see the different areas I go to, what's useful, what's not so useful, and then we'll have some Q&A at the end. So if you have any questions, you could always use a chat if you have any questions about any of these topics about Google Search Console. But if you have any things in specific that you want to cover, maybe just hold off to the end. So what is Search Console? Search Console is Google Search Console, and it's a free tool from Google. So Google gives out a bunch of free tools, which is pretty nice. So they give out Google Analytics, they give out Google Search Console, and both of these are really important for tracking. I highly recommend everyone get both of these tools, Google Analytics and Google Search Console. They're both free, so you don't have to pay for these tools, and they're just going to give you a bunch of data about your traffic, where your traffic is coming from, and it's going to help you make more informed decisions or better informed decisions. So if you go to google.com/webmasters/tools, you'll be taken to Google Search Console. Or if you're just searching Google Search Console, you'll be taken there. Then you have to sign up. They're going to give you a little tracking code. You put that tracking code on your website, and that verifies that you own this website, because Google doesn't want you to just sign up for Google Search Console and say, give me all the data about Facebook, because that's confidential information. They're not just going to give that out to anybody. You need to actually prove that you own the website by putting this little tracking code on your website, and that is going to give you access to all this data. And data is invaluable, because now you can make data-backed decisions. Instead of just guessing a bit about what's working and what's not working, now you actually have data to back it up and actually make statistically accurate decisions on your website about what to target, what keywords to utilize, what's working, what's not working, because without that, you're really just shooting in the dark and guessing doesn't always work out that well. And when you have that data there and it's free, take advantage of it, because Google doesn't really help out too much with SEO. They don't want you doing search engine optimization. They want you to run ads, because that's how they make all their money. But they do give out Google Search Console, which gives you a wealth of information related to your website, its performance. So highly recommend signing up sooner than later. Even if you're getting 1 or 2 people a day to your website, that's still data that you could use to track and make better informed decisions. I mean, look at all these companies that are getting in a lot of trouble for data breaches. I mean, Facebook a few years ago got in a lot of trouble for data breaches, and data is invaluable, and your website data is invaluable. It's worth tens of thousands of dollars. So take advantage of it. Don't just leave it there. Use these tools, which I'll show you how you can use them in a second, but sign up for it. Don't be overwhelmed. There are a lot of different things you can click on, which I'll walk you through, but sign up for it sooner than later, and it's going to really help out. And same with analytics. I'm not really talking about Google Analytics in this class, but same thing with Google Analytics. Sign up for Google Analytics. It's a free tool. Same thing. You sign up, create an account. They're going to ask you, what's your website? You put a little tracking code on it, and then you're verified. And if you're having trouble, like with the verification, I would just search in Google, like how to get verified on Search Console for Shopify. Like, so if you're on Shopify, I would search in Google, how to install Google Search Console for Shopify. If you're on WordPress, how to install Google Analytics or Google Search Console on WordPress. Whatever platform you're on, it's really straightforward, and there's only a few steps that you need to take. There's a lot of different ways that you can install Search Console and Google Analytics tracking codes. I think they give you like 4 different ways to install it. So I don't want to show all the different ways, but you can install it with FTP, just uploading it directly to your website, or you put a little tracking code, which is the easiest. That's why I recommend everyone just searching in Google, how to install Google Search Console for blank, and then fill in the blank with whatever platform you have, and they'll walk you through that. And if you need help, you can always reach out to me later on. You can see my email. It's brandon@SEOoptimizers.com. I'm happy to help walk you through that, but for today, we only have 40 minutes. I want to show you more of the important things. But if you are having trouble with that, let me know. I'm happy to help out later on after this class and show you what needs to be done and how to get this data, because once you install Analytics or Search Console, you'll see all this data pop up. And this is invaluable data where you're going to be able to learn about your traffic, learn about your website, see how it's performing, and much more. So So that is what Search Console is essentially. It's just a way to get data. And why do we use Search Console? I mean, the main reason we use it, it's free data, but there are a lot of other reasons why we use Search Console. It's, well, mainly displays data about SEO, search engine optimization, which is really, really useful because Google doesn't really want, again, they don't want you to know what's working for SEO. They want to kind of keep you in the dark so you don't know what's working, and then you just kind of get frustrated and end up spending money on ads because that's how they make all their money. That's all Google cares about, is having you spend money on Google AdWords. That's all they care about. But they do give out SEO or Search Console, which gives some data about SEO. They don't give you all the data. They only give you, I think, the top 1,000 keywords that you rank for, or the top 1,000 links that you have. So they're not going to show you everything, but they do show you the top 1,000, which is pretty nice. So what they show you, I mean, I'll walk you through it, but they show you like what keywords you rank for. This is my favorite thing, is actually seeing what keywords do I rank for in Google, what position am I in, how many people have seen me on Google, how many clicks am I getting. This is all data that Google Search Console will give you for free. It shows you how much traffic each keyword brings in, how many people saw each keyword. Lets you know if there's any errors with your website, any technical issues, anything related to SEO, it's going to show you in here. So this tool is really worthwhile and it's invaluable. I feel like this is one of my favorite tools out there that I could use in regards with SEO, reporting. It does a lot, and it is free, and it's from Google. It's not a third-party tool just guessing. This is straight from Google, so this data is accurate. It's not a third-party tool trying to guess and piece it together. Google's telling you exactly what's working here. So this is what Google Search Console looks like. So you can see, kind of a lot of stuff here, a lot of graphs, a lot of charts, a lot of things in here. It can be a little overwhelming, but don't worry, I'll show you the more important things, and I recommend everyone just go through Search Console and click on everything. You're not going to break anything. You're not going to do any harm. So play with Search Console. It's not going to do anything. You're not going to break anything. You're only just going to learn more about data, and data is invaluable. So let's actually go through a walkthrough. So let me switch screens. And let me actually show you Search Console, because talking about it versus actually seeing it, it's a lot easier if I show you it. So let me actually give you that visualization. So here is Google Search Console. So you log in, you create an account, you sign up. I already have access to Search Console, so I'm able to just go in right here. But if you don't have Search Console, you have to sign up, create an account, and then you get taken to this page. And here is, you can see we're on the overview. So this is an overview of performance, meaning like how much traffic are you getting from Google. So you can see the spikes, like what day did you get a spike? July 21st. You can try to figure out what happened on July 21st. Did we do a promotion? Did we do what's going on? Why did we get so much traffic on that date? So then you can try to piece it together. Did we run an email marketing campaign? Did we do a press release? What happened? Why did this jump happen? And then you can see it drops down, and you can see like the trends, like it looks like it trends on specific dates. So it looks like traffic might spike on like Wednesdays and Thursdays, but again, this is where you go through and look at the trends and you get data. And then you can see coverage, enhancement. Coverage means your sitemap, which is essentially your roadmap for Google to know which pages you have on your website, which pages to show in the search results. Because Google has a tough time finding all the pages on a website. So we're looking at my website right now, SEO Optimizers. You can see that Google found 292 valid pages. That means they found 292 pages on my website. One page with an error. So I could go in and click on this and try to figure out which page has an error, what's going on, what is the error, what's going on with Google, so we could see right here. And the nice thing is this tool will show you. So you just scroll down, it says submitted URL has a crawl issue. So you click on it, and it should show you what the issue is, what the URL is. So click on here and see what's going on. Okay, and a lot of this stuff might be a little technical. I don't want to spend too much time on this stuff because this is like troubleshooting, and not everyone's going to have these issues, but this is where you can figure out, is there an issue with my website? What's going on? What do I need to fix? I mean, if you see all your pages have errors, big red flag, you need to fix that. But you could see 292 pages are valid, 3,940 pages are excluded. and this is something with SEO, that you don't want all your pages to show in the search results because it forms duplicate content. So you want to exclude a lot of pages, which is a whole nother topic. I talk about on-page SEO next week. So for anyone that's just first coming to these webinars, I do them every week. So next week, I'm going to talk about on-page SEO and how to clean up your website. I don't want to get into the details on all this stuff right now because that will just take up too much time. It'll take up the entire class explaining all that. But essentially, you only want your more important pages to show in Google. But let's go back to the overview. And I want to focus on the more important thing. So the most important thing really is this performance. Performance shows you so much information, and it's the best. This is where I go from reporting for my clients and for myself to check things out and see what's going on, what's working, and what's not working. So let's click on performance, or you can just click on performance on the left-hand side right here. So you can see it says overview performance. Click on performance. Then it'll show me, you can see right here at the top, we're looking at the last 30 days. You could always change the date range to 6 months, 12 months, 16 months. So you could go back and historically look at your data, and we could see total clicks, 2,800 something, total impressions, 1.2 million impressions. CTR, click-through rate, means impressions divided by clicks, how many people saw me versus clicking on me, 0.2%. And then average position, it says average position is 56. So on average, my position is 56. That means if I'm searching on Google for my keywords, I might be number 1. But if you search for my keywords, I might be number 112. So it's averaging it out. Because when we search in Google, Google tries to personalize the results. They don't show the exact same results to everybody. So if we all search right now, everybody in the same, right now in this class, if we all search for the same exact keyword, we're all going to get slightly different results. Because Google just tries to test things out, personalize them. Depends if you're on mobile versus desktop, if you're using Chrome versus Firefox versus Opera versus Internet Explorer. They're all going to show slightly different results. So, and your location, especially where you are, your geolocation is going to heavily influence all this stuff. So just be aware. Position, just because it says you're at position number 56, that doesn't mean you're position 56. It's average position, which is a little weird, but average position is what it is. So once we scroll, so I could see all this, I could see the graph, which is nice, but I want to see the data. So we scroll down, and here is where I can see the data. So you can see clicks. So here's a key query, means keyword. So SEO optimizers, that's my company name, got 281 clicks, 513 people saw it. Click-through rate is clicks divided by impression. So 54% of the people that saw it clicked onto my listing. And my average position is 1.2. I mean, I'd hope I'd be number 1 for my company name. So it's saying on average I'm 1.2, which means I'm pretty much always number 1, maybe number 2 for a few people, but primarily number 1. And then you could scroll through down here and start seeing what other keywords do you rank for SEO testimonials, scope of SEO. And you can see right here, it's showing me 1,000 keywords. So it's only going to show me my top 1,000 keywords, unfortunately. Again, Google doesn't want you to know this information. This is really, they don't want you to know this information. So having access to this is invaluable. I mean, Google does not want to give this data out, but they chose to. I'm not sure exactly why they've chosen to. I think a lot of people complained and said, we want this data, we need this data, because this data used to be in Google Analytics. So Google Analytics and Google Search Console, they're similar, but they're really different. Google Analytics just shows you where your traffic's coming from, what pages they visit, but their demographics, their age, and all that stuff. But Search Console is going to show you more SEO related things. So Google Analytics just shows you about your traffic. Search Console is going to show you everything related to SEO. So in here, we could see all these different keywords that we're ranking for. So if we search for these keywords, again, it's averaging it out. So I'm not going to be always at position. It's just averaging it out. It becomes that position. So again, you can see a lot of different keywords, and you're going to see some weird keywords. Like you're going to see some really weird stuff in here. It's just because Google picks up on any word that you have on your website. So by me having the word free directory submission on my website, Google picked that up. Or if you have your name on it, or if you have your employees' names on it, you'll see your employees' names are going to rank in here. You're also going to see a lot of weird stuff like letters and numbers and things that don't really make sense. It's just because Google is just showing you all the keywords you rank for. So they're just showing you every single keyword you rank for. And a lot of the time when people search in Google, they're searching for weird stuff, that misspellings, plural, synonyms, things that you probably never would have thought of seeing. Oops, not sure what happened. Sorry about that, but here, let me get back to the stage. So again, this is really where I look all the time for myself and my clients to make sure that we are ranking for the right keywords. Impressions, now I can see which keywords are getting me the most impressions. So SEO training, I just recently started doing these SEO training classes a few months ago. So I'm position 40, but position 40 got me 14,000 impressions. So I'm going to really focus on this keyword because this keyword seems like it has a lot of potential. So you can sort by impressions and see which ones are getting the most impressions, like search engine optimization company. Sounds like a good keyword. SEO optimizer, all these keywords, you could see which ones get the most traffic. Link building services, and then you can see if it aligns with what your product and service is. If you see a bunch of keywords that don't make any sense, that's because Google's reading your website, reading the content, and this is what they think your website's about. So if you see a bunch of words or queries that don't make sense, you might want to rewrite your content on your website to include those keywords, because Google's just reading that content and they're just trying to figure out what this page is about. So just go through this, and again, so clicks means how many people clicked onto your website. So people clicking onto your website, 2,000 people clicked from Google onto my website. This is not just overall traffic. This is only traffic from Google. So from Google, I got 1.2 million impressions, meaning 1.2 million people saw my website on Google. Only 2,800 people clicked on it. So impressions divided by clicks equals click-through rate, and then average position is just average position. And then, so this really is the most important. Clicking on performance, play around with this. This is the #1 place that I go on Search Console. Then I want to show you a couple other places that I go, but primarily I'm always going to be under the performance. The performance area is the most important for me to figure out what's working, what's performing well, what's not performing well, what keywords does Google think I'm ranking for, what keywords are they getting confused by. So just go through this all and just spend a lot of time on performance. Then what I like to look at is sitemaps. Sitemaps is something you do one time and done. You don't really have to do it over and over again, but a sitemap is a roadmap for Google to understand what pages are on your website. So it kind of goes back to that coverage we were just talking about. Google, so my website has a few hundred pages or thousands of pages. I don't want Google to find all the pages, so I block a lot of pages in my sitemap, but then I also show them which pages I want them to show in the search results, because without the sitemap, Google's not going to find all the pages you have on your website. I've worked at a lot of a lot of companies over the years, and I've worked at an e-commerce website that had 10,000 products. They were getting a lot of traffic to their website, but half their products never got any traction. And we were just wondering what's going on, and we realized Google didn't find those 5,000 other products because they didn't have a sitemap. So we created a sitemap, which takes literally 10 minutes. Create a sitemap, and then you submit it to Google Search Console right here, which means you just paste that URL of the sitemap, which if you want to check to see if you have a sitemap for everyone, you just go to your website.com/sitemap.xml, and you'll see if you have a sitemap. Everyone's sitemap is going to look slightly different, but as long as you have a page that shows up, you have a sitemap. Then you copy that URL, go back to Google Search Console, paste it in there. I mean, I've already done it, so I don't want to resubmit it, but then you could see if it's successfully done, if there's any errors. You could see success, could not fetch. These are old sitemaps, so I should delete these. But here you could see these are the ones that matter, and you could see 185 URLs discovered. So if you know your website has 10,000 pages or 10,000 products and you only see 185 URLs discovered, that's an issue. You need to go in and fix that sitemap. But the sitemap is nice. You do it one time, you're done. Anytime you add a new page on your website, the sitemap will automatically update. Anytime you delete a page, the sitemap will automatically update. So you never really have to go in and use a sitemap. Once it's there, it's done. And that is the nice thing about the sitemap. You do it one time and you're done. You don't have to worry about submitting that sitemap ever again. And then again, I would recommend everyone click on everything on this left-hand side. You're not going to break anything. You're not going to do any harm. I don't want to go through all this stuff because it will take a lot longer than we have today. I want to really focus on the more important ones. So we could see down here, it says enhancements. So we could see core web vitals. This is something new that Google just added. This is for speed. This one is pretty important. How fast your website loads. The faster your website loads, the better off you're going to be, the more traffic you're going to get. So Google is showing right here that 70 of my URLs load slowly. Not good. So I could scroll down and I could open up this report, see what's going on, which URLs are loading slowly, what do I need to fix. So you can see LCP longer than 4 seconds. And I'm not sure what LCP means, but once you fix it, then you go click on validate fixing or validate fix. So you can tell Google, hey, I fixed my speed. Can you check, see what's been improved, make sure that I am loading faster, and then give me a better ranking. Speed is important, but it's a tiny piece of SEO. So I like to think of SEO like a puzzle. You want to put all the pieces together, but some pieces are a lot bigger than others. And website speed is not that important. It's important for users. Like when people go to your website, it takes a long time for it to load. You're going to lose that traffic. But in terms of SEO, it's not that big of a deal. Because you can just check right here. So there's another tool. It's called Page Speed Insights. And this is what I used to use, or this is what everyone used to use until Google Search Console added this new tool. But Page Speed Insights is where you paste your URL in here, and it'll show you how fast your website loads, any issues that need to be done. But again, you could go in here and throw your competitors in here, and you'll see that your competitors are probably not going to have the fastest speed. So speed, it's important, but it's not that important. There's a lot of other things that are much more important for SEO. But my computer is about to die. Let me go grab my charger. Sorry about that. But here you can see, before I do leave, mobile, desktop. So mobile, I'm getting an 18 out of 100. Not good. Desktop, 55 out of 100. Not good either. But I still rank for a lot of keywords, as you saw earlier. So speed, important. Not the most important, but you can scroll down, and then it's going to show you exactly what needs to be done to fix or to improve your speed. Preload key requests, eliminate render blocking resources, remove unused CSS. A lot of this stuff is really technical programming, coding, and I'm not a programmer, I'm not a coder, so I don't understand what half this stuff means, and I just pass this on to my web developer. If you have a web developer, ask them to make these changes, and they'll be able to optimize that speed. If you don't have a web developer, you could find someone maybe on freelancer.com or somewhere online, and they could help improve the speed. So I mean, preload means I would want to fix this first, preloading whatever this is going to do. It's going to save 1.7 seconds, 1.73 seconds. Even if you can knock off a fraction of a second, like these 0.32 seconds, that's still going to have an impact on your conversions of people going to your website. SEO, it's going to help out slightly, but for people going to your website, it's really going to help out. And the main reason speed is so important is, I mean, if we just type into Google, page speed, let's see. Google shows right here, at the very top, how fast they gave us the search results, because they know if their website loads fast, that's a good user experience. If it takes a minute for the website to load, you're going to be like, I'm going on Bing or Yahoo or another search engine. So Google knows they need to have a fast loading website, and you need to have a fast loading website to have a good user experience. But sorry, just give me 1 second. I need to grab my charger before it dies. I'll be back in 1 minute. Sorry about that. All right, I am back. Let me plug everything in. That way we do not lose. All right, sorry about that, everyone. Usually I have it all plugged in, the battery's charged, but for some reason my laptop's dying a little bit faster than normal. But let me get back to Search Console. So speed is important, but again, it's not the most important. It's a slight ranking factor, but there's a lot of stuff that's more important for SEO. But I'll talk about that another time, like backlinks, the content on your website. Two most important things, backlinks and your content on your website. But mobile usability, it shows how your website is on mobile, because Google separated mobile and desktop a year or two ago. So when you search on, in the past, when we would search on our computer or our cell phones, they would be the exactly same results. Nowadays, it's different. Google or desktop and mobile are 100% separate. They're not the same anymore because it's different user experiences. You need a mobile-friendly website. If your website's not mobile-friendly, Google's not going to show you on mobile devices. And that's going to really hinder traffic because mobile brings about 60% of the traffic nowadays, if not more. And it's going to keep increasing. It's not slowing down anytime soon. Mobile is so important. So we can see right here, 0 errors, good. We really want to make sure that you don't have any errors on mobile, because if your website's not mobile friendly, you're going to be losing out on at least half the traffic, if not more. And Google has some really weird specifications in terms of what is mobile friendly or not. I've worked with a lot of clients over the years, and I've seen some clients that had mobile friendly websites, but according to Google, the fonts were too close to one another, or the colors were too close to one or similar, or I'm not sure what the regulations are or what the restrictions are, but if they don't think you're mobile friendly, you're not shown on mobile devices, you're losing out a lot of traffic. So here we can scroll down, 0 errors, that's good. 69 valid, so you can see that these pages are all valid, there's no errors. That's really, really, really important. Make sure that your website is mobile friendly, and this is a way to do it. And then there are a lot of other stuff here. So every website will have core web vitals, which is your website speed. Every website will have mobile usability. The rest of this stuff, breadcrumbs, products, review snippets, site link, search box. There might be a lot of other ones that everyone has, and these are all just ways to mark up your website. It's called schema. Schema.org is a way to mark up your website and enhance it and make it stick out. So let me show you an example. So if I search in Google, a lot of misspellings, but I just want to show you. If I search in Google from one of my blog posts, here's my website, SEO Optimizers. You can see I have stars right here. So I put schema.org on my website, and now I get these stars, which really enhances the listing. I mean, it makes it stick out. The thing is with schema, it doesn't always work. So here also is my website again, position 2. No schema, no stars. So Google kind of picks and chooses when they want to show this schema, but it's a way to enhance your listing and make it pop out. I mean, all my clients, right when we start working together, first thing I do is install schema onto the websites, enhance it. Schema is a language that Google, Bing, and Yahoo made together, I think like 5 years ago. If you go to schema.org, there's more documentation on it. I mean, it's pretty in-depth. I don't have time to really go into schema too much, but it is a way to enhance your listing in Google and make it pop out, because this is a programming language that Google, Bing, and Yahoo all created a few years ago. So let me get back to, so you can see I have review snippets. The review snippets are those stars. So you can see 58 are valid with the review snippets, the stars. So that means I have 58 pages on my website that show these stars in the search results. And I'm not selling a physical product. I'm selling a service. You don't have to be selling a physical product to be getting those stars. You could still be doing an e-com or doing a, like I'm a service-based business. I'm not selling a physical product on my website, but I still have people rating and reviewing it. So then, and I don't want to go through all these ones because not everyone's going to have that, but security and manual actions. This one, hopefully nobody has any issues with this, but when you're doing SEO, especially if you hire a company, if you do the wrong type of SEO, it's going to actually hurt you in rankings more than it's going to help your rankings. So you have to be careful when you do an SEO or you're hiring an SEO company, because you never know what they're doing. I mean, they'll tell you what you're doing, but they never fully tell you. That's why you need someone transparent. Like when I work with my clients, I give them full transparency of everything that's been going on, what's working, what's not working, give them access to all this, because this is your data. This is not my data. This is your data. I just use it to make better informed decisions to optimize your website, but this is your data. So click on manual actions. No issues detected. Good sign. If you had any issues, they'll tell you what's going on, how to fix it, but hopefully nobody has that. Same with security issues. Hopefully nobody has any issues with security, because we don't want any breaches. You don't want any issues with your website. So click on all that stuff. Just play around with it. Also, we could see backlinks. This is also something really useful to look at. Backlinks are really, really, really important part of SEO. The more backlinks you have from relevant and authoritative websites, the higher up you're going to rank in Google. So backlinks are clickable links from other websites that point to your website. So you want to get backlinks from other websites that point to your website. So we could see right here, like top linking sites. Well, so And there's a lot in this backlink tool, but unfortunately, Google doesn't show you everything. Oops. So Google's only going to show you the top 100, I think, or top, yeah, they're not going to show you all the backlinks. And they don't really want you to know this stuff. They kind of keep this stuff hidden. There's other third-party tools that will show you backlinks, like Ahrefs, Ahrefs, or Moz, or Majestic, Site Explorer. I mean, there are a ton of tools out there that will let you look at backlinks. But Google kind of shows you a little preview here, which is nice of them. And one other thing that's kind of a weird little nuance of Google Search Console, but when you sign up for Google Search Console, it's going to say add a property. So let me show you. So add a property, it's going to say add a domain, which I would recommend adding a domain. So like SEOoptimizers.com. But then you have to go in and you have to verify it from DNS, and it's a little complicated. So if you're good at programming and coding or have a web developer, I would try to get the domain registered. But if not, start with the URL prefix. And with the URL prefix, you're going to put your URL in, which is https SEOoptimizers.com. That's one URL prefix. Your website has 4 URL prefixes. And this is really important to register all 4. So let me show you. If I go right here in this drop down, I type in SEO, you'll see I have all 4 versions. I have the HTTPS, one without HTTP. Then I have the HTTPS with the www. Then I have HTTP without the www. Because what Google sees is these are 4 websites, and Google thinks these are all 4 different websites, which is really strange. Not sure why they think that, but you need to register all 4 variations of your website with the HTTP, HTTPS, www, and without the www. Register all 4 versions. Then you tell Google, this is my main website, which is my main one is HTTPS without the www. And everyone should have HTTPS. That is also another ranking factor. If your website's just HTTP, Google said like 3 or 4 years ago that that's not good. They want HTTPS, which is essentially you have an SSL certificate. So if your website's not HTTPS, you might want to reach out to your hosting company, whoever your hosting company is, like GoDaddy or whoever you're hosted with. Reach out to them and ask them, can I buy an SSL certificate? It's usually like $100 a year. But Google looks at that as saying, you invested in your company. You invested $100 into your company. So that's a trust signal, because most hackers, spammy websites, they will not buy an HTTPS, and Google really wants to fight off spam, and over half the internet is spam that Google has to kick off. So you really have to prove Google, I am a credible business. So HTTPS helps out with that, with building that trust. Also, one other thing is buying your domain name. If you're talking to your hosting company and your domain name expires or auto-renews every year, Google looks at that as like, you don't know if you're going to stay in business. You might be just a scam fly-by-night company. So if you're a real business, Google wants to see that you register your domain name for at least maybe 2 or 3 years. The more you don't have to register for like 10 years, but register for at least 3 or 4 years. Google's going to look at that like, okay, you're committed to this website URL. You're going to stick around. You're not just a fly-by-night company that's going to try to hack people's information or steal people's information. So little things like that do have big impacts. It's a little weird, but Google, I think, has over 200 ranking factors that they look at, and it's constantly changing every single day. But again, some factors are a lot more important than others, so just focus on the more important ones, and that's really what's going to matter. And do you see a few questions coming in? So let me pull up the chat, because I saw a bunch of questions coming in. So are the keywords exactly accurate from Rachel? Yeah, this is from Google, so I would guess that they're 100% accurate. They're not going to give you any fake data or anything like that. And I see another question was the difference between Google Analytics and Google Search Console. Analytics just shows you anything related to your traffic, where your traffic's coming from. Search Console is going to show you anything related to SEO, any errors on your website, like we kind of went over, any issues, any broken pages. And another question, what happens if, Rachel, what happens if I don't want my site optimized for mobile, as the clients enter from desktop only? Then you don't have to build a mobile version, but nowadays most people come from mobile. I mean, I work with a lot of clients that sell products that are thousands of dollars. They get all the traffic from mobile. They buy on desktop, but they find them on mobile because everyone has a cell phone on the go. It's easy to search. when you're in front of a computer, you're usually working nowadays in front of a desktop. When you're on your phone, you're on the go and you can search around. So I would highly recommend, even if your clients aren't finding you on desktop or aren't using desktop or only using the desktop version, you're missing out on a lot of new people that are going to not be able to find you because now you're not shown on mobile devices, and mobile devices get over 60% of the searches nowadays, and it's not slowing down anytime soon. And Kelsey, does Google personalize results if you search in incognito? So no. So anytime you are searching, if you want to really see the true results when you're searching in Google, make sure you sign out and go incognito. Then you're going to actually get the real results. They're still going to personalize it on your geolocation, but it's not going to be personalized on your search history. And can we benchmark a good average position? What is good, what is not? I mean, the higher the position, the better. It's not really benchmarking. You just want to be on that first page. I mean, you want to be number one always, but the higher up, the better. And how do you evaluate deep potential in the different keywords between themselves? I'm not sure what Maxime you were saying, but I try to find keywords that have high search volume or keywords that I'm on the first page of Google for, but I'm not position one because I'm that close. So you could go in Google Search Console and just look at what keywords are on the first page of Google that are not on the first position, and then you can optimize for those. Caroline, do you have to make up your own list of keywords? No, Google is showing you what you rank for in Google. If you want to make your own list, then you put those keywords on your website, then Google's going to read the list of keywords. And don't make a list of keywords, but insert the keywords in your content. Google's going to read the content, and then they're going to start showing you for those different keywords. And Caroline, does page speed depend on how much stuff is on the page? Yeah, page speed depends on a lot of variables, how many images, videos, the CSS, JavaScript. And so I haven't done anything to my website. Google Search Console shows that one page has too small text to read. So I would fix that immediately, because if your font is too small, they're not going to show you in mobile, and you're going to lose out on a lot of traffic. Because on mobile, if it's small font, it's going to be tough to read. So, and in general, nowadays, you want to make your fonts bigger. You don't want to have small fonts. You want to make it really easy, concise. When people nowadays, their attention spans are really short. So if there's a big block of text, you're going to lose that person immediately. Just have small or sentences that are big, bullets, snippets. And Maxine, how long does Google Search Console keep the data? I think now they keep it for 18 months. They've changed it over the past, it used to be 6 months. I think last year they changed it to 18 months, which is great. So it's not forever. So if you want to download those reports and save them, you could always download those reports and save them and have them indefinitely. And so yeah, any other questions? Or I see, and if you have a lot of videos, is it better to have links to YouTube rather than upload them to your website? I would embed the YouTube video URL, because the YouTube embedder is optimized for speed. So throw the videos on YouTube and then take that embed code and throw it on your website, and that's going to maximize that speed, because now the videos are hosted on YouTube. So it's just slowing down YouTube, not your website. So yeah, I guess it is nearing the end, but I do have a class coming up on September 26th that goes in depth about SEO, social media, all this stuff. So if you are looking to really enhance your and gain knowledge, it's on September 26th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. So it's all about how to get more traffic from Google, showing you how I rank websites nowadays, what keywords I use, how to do keyword research, how to build backlinks, everything in regards to that. And I also talk about social media, talk about like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and show you how I built my own accounts to tens of thousands of followers without spending any money on ads, never spending money on ads. I'll show you how I've grown my own social media accounts and how I do it for hundreds of other clients over the years, and how you can do it yourself. It's really straightforward, simple strategies for growing your social channels. And ultimately, this is all going to show you how to get more sales, more leads, more phone calls, more emails, because traffic is great, social media followers are great, but that's not the means to end. We want sales, we want phone calls, we want emails, we want people buying from your website. Whatever your conversion goal is, that's ultimately what we want. And I keep this class to 10 people or less, so it's more one-on-one, hands-on. I could really show you how to make these changes. We could go through Google Analytics. I could show you how to set up analytics, walk you through it. Right now, it's just tough with so many people in this class, but I go through Google Analytics, Google Search Console. And if you're trying to transition careers, you'll get a certificate of completion. So if you want to check that out, you go to SEOoptimizers.com/learn. That's where you can sign up for that class. I think there might be 6 seats left, so if you want to grab a seat for that next one on September 26th, go to SEOoptimizers.com/learn. And again, my main focus is really doing SEO. So if you have a website and you want me to check it out from an SEO point of view, I'm happy to give you a free analysis and check it out, show you what keywords you're ranking for, what backlinks you have, what backlinks your competitors have, how we could beat your beat your competitors and outrank them. If you go to SEOoptimizers.com/free, happy to give you analysis. You could sign up for a time, schedule it on my calendar, and I'll give you a 15-minute free consultation. I'm not charging. Free consultation, just giving you information about your website, going through all this stuff, and just letting you know what works best. And if you want access to 60 of my favorite SEO and social media marketing tools, if you want to text the word SEO to the number 313131. So if you text the word SEO to the number 313131, I'll send out a copy of 60 of my favorite free SEO tools, not paid tools, free SEO and social media tools I use constantly for myself and for my clients. I do see a couple other questions that came through. If I missed anyone's question, let me know. Throw it back in the chat. I want to make sure I get to everyone's questions. I want to make sure everyone gets the most value out of this class because I just want to see everyone succeed. I mean, that's my main goal is I don't want to just get you more traffic. I want to see everyone succeed. I want to see your business rank at the top of Google and you start getting those leads in and getting that traffic without having to spend money on ads. So I see in the performance page, I click on the option to show position, but it does not appear. Not sure why it would not be appearing. Maybe if you want to reach out to me or send me a private message or email me, I could check that out. Here is my email for anyone that wants to email me directly. It's Brandon@SEOoptimizers.com. So Brandon@SEOoptimizers.com, BRANDON@SEOoptimizers.com. And then I'll throw in the chat for the free consultation. I'll put that link in there. That way, just in case, it makes it. You could just go right here, the free consultation. And if you want to check out that class, the class is at the class is at SEOoptimizers.com/learn. And I think there's 6 seats left available right now. So if you want to grab a spot, definitely jump on that. I do those classes every few months, so check that out. And does Google Search Console help with keyword research? Yes, so Google Search Console helps with keyword research because now, let me go back to Search Console really quickly and just show you. Now that we're in Search Console, I could see what keywords I'm ranking for, and I could figure out, am I ranking for the right keywords? Should I use a different variation? Do I want to use a plural? Do I want to use a synonym? Do I want to use some other one? So here you can see impressions. And then you could sort by lowest impressions. So I could see SEO training is getting a lot of impressions. This is keyword research telling me I should focus on the word SEO training because it's getting a lot more impressions than SEO classes, SEO webinars. They're not getting anything close to that. And I'm ranking on the first page for all those keywords. SEO training, I'm not on that first page, but I got 14,000 people that still saw me without me being on that first page. So yeah, it helps out with a lot of different things, but yeah, jump on Search Console sooner than later, and hopefully I'll see everyone at that class on September 26th, or I'll see you at one of my upcoming classes, my free ones that I do. But hopefully this was helpful for everyone. And quick overview, in the paid class, I go much more in depth. The class on Saturday, September 26th, it's normally $199, but due to quarantine, I can't do them in person, and I have to rent out a room. That normally costs me $1,000, and I'm able to pass that savings on to everyone else. Now that I'm not spending that extra $1,000, it's not $199, it's actually $99 for that class. So if you want to come to that one, it's $99 for that full day class that goes in depth about SEO, social media, Google Analytics, Google Search Console, all that stuff. So you gotta check that out. Highly recommend it if you're trying to learn and really get in depth with that. If not, keep coming to these free ones. They're great, but if you really want to learn it and dive into it, paid class is going to really get to that next level. But I appreciate everyone taking the time out today to learn about Search Console. It's not the most exciting, fun thing, but it is really an invaluable tool that shows you so much good information. So I appreciate everyone for coming out today, and hopefully I'll see you in the upcoming couple of days or weeks. So everyone stay safe, have a great rest of your day, and I will see everyone soon. Thanks so much. Bye, everyone.